a little more reassured. Okay, I can cast my vote and go home in peace. But in the absence of policemen, in the absence of soldiers, people are really intimidated. So,
Tochukwu, none of us here is a kid, and none of us here will pretend to tell me we don't have similar things around the country. Otherwise, don't give me that Lagos. Don't make me feel that Lagos is where all the shenanigans of the politicians are taking root. Don't give me.
But we are reporting Lagos. I mean, the reporters we have seen so far, we're not even from us. No. It's from the field. We're just reacting to what is coming from the field. And from the field, we have the reporters there who are giving us reports. So our reaction should be, why should this thing be allowed? The docility of the police force should be addressed. In fact, the IG should explain to Nigerians exactly what he is doing about this election.
All right.
This is not it.
Let's quickly go to Ilasa because our man is waiting. His name is Onyebuchi. Good afternoon, Onyebuchi.
Yeah, good afternoon, President Jones, and good afternoon to the guests in the studio.
Yeah,
good afternoon.
Finally, I've been able to cast my vote. But some of my observations, one of it is I noticed that, I rightly said in the morning, there is an absolute low turnout of voters. And so where I voted, about the primary school to be precise, in Shasha, putting on the certain apron, and it's read Team Lagos Security. So when I tried the inquiry to know if it's a non-organizational outfit or whatever, I came to understand that it's a group of people put together by a certain political party who are in charge of the state. So another thing that happened in that address is that just like so many people have complained, I didn't get to be harassed, but there's this body language and utterances putting out scaring people who are from the southern, southeast, or let me say indigenous of Lagos, preventing them, not really asking them not to vote, but threatening with words. I didn't get to see them stop anybody as it were, like I voted, but they were very verbal, very, very, very vocal, So we had some people who stood as agents, apart from the agents, we have some people who came wearing all manner of times as supervisors and then in Lagos security, and then we verbally, saying it, that you people from this region, you cannot do this in your place, you came here and then you want to, so, that body language was so strong.
All right.
Intentionally to scare people.
Thank you, Ken.
But some of us, did not get scared. For me, I voted, and then but when I saw that the body language, could then hit up to certain level, I decided to leave because they were actually identifying people. They, you are not an indigene. You are coming here to intimidate us. You are doing that.
Thank you, Ken. Ken, we got you first time. Thank you. Thank you very kindly. Again, gentlemen, looking at your screen, we just saw two footage of former President Jonathan and Minister of Works Babatunde Fashola casting their ballot. Yeah, these big people will go cast their ballot on an election day like this. It will become news. But it is more news to hear that people who are not that privileged aren't allowed to cast their ballot.
Yes.
Which is depressing to some of us.
It's most depressing. And you made a point earlier that ethnicity or ethnicity being a factor in politics is not new in Nigeria. Yeah. And that is happening in other parts of the country.
Again, a sense of history will not hurt anybody here.
Yes.
What led to the so-called wild west, wet here in the Western region. The disputed elections of 1964. So it's been a long time coming.
No, even the first election, the
1959.
1959, even the 1922.
Our forefathers had loyalty to their ethnic groups. It was the work of the leadership to build a nation out of this.
We have had more than one chances. Emmanuel is waiting. No, we'll get back to that. Emmanuel, good afternoon to you. Yeah, Emmanuel, please identify your location.
I'm calling from Ilasamaja.
Ilasamaja?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, what can you tell us?
Actually, once I did this, it's not connected with the disease. Because from the INEC, everything looks compromised. It's not easy to elector. Here somebody has been in INEC, overreaching in Nigeria, reading every sector to stand for authority on what they want and getting it as they want to. It was for me, because those things is compromised. There is no assurance. The policy is not yet informed. So I mean, we have just a group of people who are very betrayed and who go inconsequential about the country to stand. Overpowering every sector and to hold ground on a decision-making process like this. And it looks like, I mean, people are not making more about and we think they're having an election. Those who know what election means. This is traditional selection. Village selection is not traditional. This is not election. Village selection. That's a new coinage. Because let's not be ourselves. Because the media is compromised, political analysts, social scientists, and everybody has been silent. Just swallow anything that is it's a pity. And we know why we are looking for better things. Because if you look at what's happening in October 2020, you will know that this is the reason for which Nigerians use identity for a new day, a new thing, a new Nigeria.
All right. Thank you,
I
Emmanuel.
don't know. Let's take the election. It's an election.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Tochukwu, we're still talking about. I'm wondering what our forefathers couldn't do at the time.
They resisted, but you had a story of Kosoko of Lagos Island, Nana of Ishekiri, King Jaja of Opobo, Obarogun of Benin. These were kings that resisted colonial entrenchment. But there's an extent to which they could go. I mean, most of them died in exile at the end of the day, because when the colonial masters came back after the resistance,
The colonial masters came solely to buy slaves. And some of these guys...
At that time, during the slave trade, it was not just the colonial master. We had the Royal Nigeria Company, we had the Portuguese and all that. Those ones were purely trade. But at the time Lord Lugard came in, it was the British government, after the balkanization of Africa by the Berlin Conference of 1803 or thereabouts. They had shared Africa. So when they came in, it was for the purposes of colonialism, to annex our resources economically and to instill governance. And they brought in Christianity and other things. At the end of the day, what we had was, after the first set of resistance, we also have Atahiru of the northern part. After that first resistance, which the British went back, reinforced and came back, blew up the entire place. All the kings that resisted, they went on exile. Some died unceremoniously. And our forefathers were actually very
happy. I cannot thank you enough for that brief history. But then I'm saying 63 years, near 63 years of self-determination. In the life of a man, 63 years no be moi.
Yes.
A grandfather.
63 years are enough for you to chart your course. We'll go to Okota now. Hello, Okota. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, your name, sir?
Austin from Akota.
Austin, what can you report to us?
Sorry?
What can you tell us?
Please, I'm not happy at all. I'm not happy the way this is going on. I'm not happy at all. If they decide to divide this country, let them divide this country instead of what this person has been.
No. Tell me what. Tell me what is happening. Leave dividing the country. Tell me what happened. We've lost the contact to him. I'm not interested in dividing the country. Namir would go divide the country.
No, I think he's giving a reaction
and
to...
nobody, please don't bring your biases here. I'll shoot them down. I don't like it. If you want to divide the country, don't involve me. Don't involve us. Please. I don't have the power. I don't have the knife.
Yes.
Please.
So,
so 63 years in the life of a country would be enough. And if it is not boring you, and I'm sure it is not boring you, 1994, April, we'll go to Ejigbo shortly, but 1994, Rwanda committed suicide, but they have picked up the pieces and they are going ahead.
Yes.
The Wahala of 1994 was not caused by the colonialists.
Yes.
So,
but you must also...
So let me go to Chukwudi. Chukwudi is at Ejigbo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Chukwudi, tell me something. Yeah.
My name is Chukwudi. I'm coming from Jakonde Estate.
Okay then.
Precisely, Egypt. In fact, I'm very, very angry on the way things are going to this nation. By God's grace.
No, don't tell me about the nation. Tell me about your location at Ejigbo. Is it? Tell me about. Don't tell me about the nation. All right. Tell me about what happened there.
Yes, I tried to move out to with my wife. Unfortunately, the armed force group led by a known as Honorable. They came to the killing booth with a lot of bad relations, both guns, matches, bombs, and they removed a lot of people, asking people to move to the killing booth. We couldn't cast our vote, and that is a means of all exercising there. They don't know who I am to vote, but depriving me my right to vote. It's disheartening, and I cannot express myself towards the person who wants to govern me. So anybody that they put there, I will assume it that they are using a leader it out of my conscience. So for that, I don't know when this kind of situation will change in this nation. It's very, very disheartening. And these people that are these folks, we know them. We allow them to no question to those people who get all the kind of stuff.
All right. What can I say? I repeat, 63 years are enough for a man, Barrister Ofeli Tochukwu. 63 years are enough for a man to right the wrongs in his life.
Yeah,
Not
and you talk about
necessarily.
Rwanda. I was going to talk about that Rwanda issue.
Yes.
The kind of leadership that emerged afterwards.
It's all about leadership.
The kind of leadership that emerged afterwards. We should also look at the element of that. It's not the current Rwandan leader does not just possess the element of democracy. He also has some autocratic tendencies
It's not democracy in Rwanda at all.
You understand? So
there's no democracy in Rwanda.
There is, but the kind is one that is needed.
Tochukwu, there is democracy.
There is.
If you tell me that Paul Kagame is
he was elected.
Autocratic, but he was elected.
Yeah, he was elected.
He came to power first, and after a number of years, he was in quote elected. You cannot insult the president. You cannot criticize the president.
Yeah,
Those are not elements of democracy. But Call it what you
but
like.
the country seems to be
What
working.
I'm
it's
saying
good
is
leadership. But not democratic leadership.
Not democratic leadership, but
that's the point I want to make.
It's good leadership. It's transparent, and then he has been able to instill that to trickle down on this to the citizen. And now there is no gender or Jews in Rwanda, just like you have in Galatians. Everybody is the same.
Equal before the law.
Yes, don't come with tribal. I mean, there's penalty for it if you incite tribal bigotry or sentiment. It's even capital punishment there now. We need something of that semblance.
Good.
Perhaps we should take that template, use it to create something,
Essentially, Ophelia, essentially because so many Nigerians.
In Nigeria, we speak, the Tutsis tend to be taller. They look like the Ethiopians.
Yes.
The Hutus tend to be shorter.
Yeah.
History has it that the Tutsis were nomadic people who came from the north, maybe
They are both
Somalia, it was Somalia or Ethiopia. But the Hutus were sedentary farmers who were there and were conquered by the Tutsis, and the Tutsis imposed their will on them. They have always been in the minority, but control the system. That's the Tutsis, but they speak the same language. So in the case of Nigeria, the thing is that, first of all, let me make it clear. There's nothing wrong with British colonialism. Colonialism has always been an intricate part of history.
Yes.
The Persians had colonies, the Babylonians, the
Spartans.
Egyptians, the Greek, the Romans. So British colonialism was part of history. They did us a number of bad and a lot of good. The thing is that we are different ethnic groups, and our loyalty to a considerable extent remains with our ethnic groups, which is not wrong in itself. Like I once wrote, the one Nigeria is not a homogenizing vat where different cultures blend into one, where people with different cultures, you cannot blend our cultures and make it one in an attempt to build a nation.
All right, Tochukwu, you lived in America for some years.
Yes.
America is a country of many nations, many nationalities. Must we wait 240 years?
No,
we're Muslims.
We're not waiting 200.
Okay.
What we need is to build a nation out of different...
How do you do that?
By leadership. By leadership.
It starts with leadership. It ends with leadership.
Let me tease you. I have heard that a team is as good. Good afternoon, madam. Madam, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, give us your name. Okafa is Solo, right?
Police unit,
Yeah, move away from. Yeah, go on.
Okay. When I see today, it passed my eye. It passed my eye. Because I be person who get duty. I be person who get duty. I be so sick. When they come, carry knife, carry everything, carry boxes. And so if I be that is taking months, opposite our castle, opposite the house.
Which polling unit?
Yes.
Which polling unit now?
Today, oh God, I'm crying. What to do? Please, put effort and time today. The polling is too much.
Yeah, madam, we are a broadcast. We are a broadcasting station. I'm surprised. You mean security people are not there?
There's no police. What they don't, so everybody knows. Everybody wrong. Nobody say everybody knows.
Which polling unit?
Coke bottle, they carry plenty Coke bottle. They carry, they sold them, they run. Everybody, they run.
Yeah.
So they don't food. They scatter everywhere. After the police, the bombs, everything, they scatter everything. They go.
All right, thank you.
They come again. They come again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
So this flares up periodically, like in 2015, when the Oba of Lagos said things like, if the Igbos do not vote for APC, will throw them into the lagoon. The thing is that there's one party has dominated the politics of Lagos, the APC. And each time they are threatened, there's a large Igbo voting bloc in Lagos State. And when they feel that this large voting bloc will vote another party, it becomes a problem. They want to intimidate the Igbos into voting for the ruling party in Lagos. That happened in 2015 on a lower scale. But this time around, in this gubernatorial election, the candidate for LP has an Igbo mother married to an Igbo woman, and they believe the Igbos would vote for LP instead of...
You are throwing that one in.
That's a simple fact.
Yeah,
No, you are throwing...
There's an assumption that...
They told you, or you are assuming, you are...
No, by political calculation.
They've called him an Igbo man. He has an Igbo name.
He's not.
Well,
He's not.
His father is Yoruba.
He's not Igbo.
Yeah,
He's
I said
Yoruba.
these political
So the two-
opponents have called him an Igbo man and believe he will pander to the Igbos if it comes to power, and the Igbos are pro-Labour and the Labour candidate. That's why this flared up again, this threat to, if you're not from this area, go back to your area.
All right.
If you're not voting for
let me take you to
PDP.
Ejigbo now. A gentleman is waiting for us. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah.
Hello.
I greet you.
Yeah. This is John from Ejigbo.
Yeah, John, quickly, what can you tell us?
Yeah. I'm calling from Ejigbo Primary School Polling Center.
Go on, sir.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Go on.
I said I'm calling from Ejigbo Primary School Polling Center.
Go on. We're listening.
Okay. Please, I want to ask, this intimidation from Yoruba to Igbos.
Please,
Yes, sir.
please,
What are
and
the
please,
people
and
don't
please,
say you
I
want
won't
to-
take that. I don't like the question. I can't answer it. What do you want me to say now? Please, don't intimidate me. It's not fair.
No, but let's...
No, I can't allow it. So if it tells you about, hold on, if it tells you about Yorubas intimidating Igbos, how are you going to reply?
That's the
Please,
information.
Don't try it.
That's the information.
When that goes
That's
up,
presentation of
Please,
facts.
I don't want it. Well, we must begin to wrap this session up. My colleague, Ms. Wachuku, is taking over. But, Tochuko, how do we close this session?
The closing the session is wonderful. Nigeria is having an election, and it's been a continuous attempt or continuous involvement in democracy. But we are disenchanted, we are dismayed by the way things are happening. At least as far as we know in Lagos, the vandalism, the thuggery, the violence, the intimidation, the harassment. These are not elements of democracy. There's no way the election in Lagos can be adjudged fair, free, and credible. So we are sick and tired of politicians making life hard for people so that they remain in power indefinitely. Nigerian politicians, especially those of you in Lagos, respect the legitimate and reasonable aspirations of Nigeria. Let these elections allow the people's choice to be made manifest in this election, not the choice that come after of your intimidation and manipulation and harassment and violence. INEC, sit up, get your job done right. The security agents, why do you stand around and let thugs and other forms of criminals take over the process and intimidate people and wound people and kill people? Stand up and do your work. It's time for Nigerians to stand up and say, enough is enough.
All right. Well, I would say that we're one people. Please stop making enemies because of your political leaning. After the election, we're going to go to the same market. We're going to go back to our regular beer parlors. We're going to go back to restaurants and all that. Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, we're all one people. So let us learn to live as one people. and not allow the politicians to inflame our soul with hate, ethnic bigotry, and the likes. After this election, there will be life after elections. And there is no guarantee that the politicians you are defending, you are carrying ballot box or not, that we won't deliver. Before now, they have not delivered. After now, they may not deliver. So, I mean, what is the fight about? Let us allow peace to reign. Let's vote and, do the right thing and move Nigeria forward.
Well, my parting shot is very simple. Mine is, if you stop to stone all the dogs that will bark at you on your way to your destination, you may not get there. What we are facing is not a dash. My friend earlier on had said it was not
even a marathon.
A marathon. That's
endless.
But it's a race. And it doesn't matter how slowly you go, so long as you don't stop. Bye-bye now. I'm out of here.
Are you concerned about whether or not your vote will count? You can make it count. You can be a citizen observer. Ensure that you follow the process and make your vote count. These are the steps to follow. Take a picture of yourself at the polling unit. Take a picture of the final result at the polling unit. Upload using the link on your screen. Be a citizen observer. This message was brought to you in partnership with VOP.
A new day has finally come for citizens with disabilities in Nigeria. You can now participate in the electoral processes without any worry whatsoever. The new electoral